I wanted to create a video review of the Kaly.nyc CD carver because there's only a handful in the web, and I wanted to fill the void to lend a hand for people who are out in the web in search for one.
First, a bit of a background. I currently own 6 e-boards, namely the Evolve Carbon GT and the Bamboo GT, Meepo 1.5, Acton Blink S2, and the Blink S.
My first e-board would be the Evolve Bamboo GT, and I purchased that on December 2016, and I've been addicted to the hobby ever since. I haven't gotten into the e-board DIY scene yet, so this review would be my perspective as an avid hobbyist only. I paid full price for my board including shipping to the Philippines, and I get no commission whatsoever from Kaly.nyc, nor am I affiliated with him in any way.
Kaly.nyc CD carver is a high-performance e-board based off the Trampat mountain board that is built by a guy named Ernesto. You can reach him via his Instagram, website, and through email if you want to contact him and purchase a board. I'll leave those links in the description below. Let's start with the deck. Personally, I like how the deck looks like with its aggressive curves. The deck is a 15-ply street carver by Champa, and I reckon Ernesto would base how many plies he would use for your deck depending on your weight. The flex of the deck makes a smoother ride as it acts as suspension, and you wouldn't feel every crack and pebble on the road as much as you would in a stiff deck. Unfortunately though, the Trampa deck has a flat camber. I personally compensate for this by putting my front foot where the deck turns up so that I can latch myself to the board better. Personally, this doesn't pose any real issue as I got used to the foot adjustment fairly quickly.
But some people just hate flat decks, so I guess this would be a personal preference at some level. The Kaly setup that I bought is a 2-in-1 kit,
because it's always nice to have that option to swap wheels and have a totally different ride. As a matter of preference, I use the all-terrain setup most of the time for this board, as I know the battery wouldn't experience any battery sag when riding. The all-terrain wheels are Champa 7-inch wheels, and Ernesto would ask for the color scheme that you want. From my setup, I chose red rims and black spokes. Additionally, Ernesto would also ask for you to pick the color of the springs for the truck. I chose red for those as well. For the front, you have Champa mountain board trucks. At the back, you have Champa mountain board trucks as well, but the hangers are made by Ernesto and are made with full CNC aluminum. The pneumatic tires give you a smooth ride that is incomparable to whatever size urethane wheels you would be using. It's just a lot smoother, and you won't need to worry about going over cracks and some minor potholes on the road. The all-terrain tires also gives you the ability to ride over grass, dirt, and gravel, something that isn't fun to do at all on urethane wheels. The street wheels that came with the 2-in-1 kit is a set of ABIC 11 107mm green Superfly wheels, and it came with Trampa bearings and a set of belts for the street conversion. I don't use this too much, but again, it's a nice option to have. Some riders like the feel of the street wheels better than the pneumatic tires, as it gives the rider more of that skateboard or longboard feel. Plus, it gives you more range compared to the AT setup, and it makes the board to have a smaller footprint and easier to carry. It is also good to note that Kaly.nyc is the only other well-known company on the e-board industry at the moment that offers 2-in-1 kits as a complete e-board aside from Evolve. The website states that for the AT setup, the top speed is 35 miles per hour or 56 kilometers per hour for a rider that is 205 pounds or 92 kilograms. I haven't tested the top speed yet, but based on my daily use, this board can reach more than 22 miles per hour or 35 kilometers per hour with no issues at all. It is good to note that I haven't experienced any battery sag in my use of the board, and other owners attest that the battery sag is minimal, so you can reach high speeds even if the battery percentage is low. The range of this board would be a bit more than 18 miles according to the website, and I've heard owners attesting that these are real live figures and not just theoretical. I haven't tested this myself because my legs get tired long before the battery dies. Now let's talk about the weight of the board. This board is heavy. So if you're planning to carry your board most of the time, this might pose as an issue for you. I don't carry my board often, so portability and weight isn't an issue for me. On the plus side, the weight makes for a stable ride when at speed. Despite the weight, this board can climb hills with ease. As a point of comparison, it trumps my Evolve Carbon GT when climbing hills, even in GT mode. The board doesn't have any issues whatsoever climbing car park ramps or hills for that matter. So if you live in an area with a lot of hills, this board might be good for you. I like carving with my e-boards, and riding on my Kaly isn't an exception. Again, as a point of comparison, carving on my Evolve Carbon GT is definitely easier due to the double kingpin trucks. But once you get over the learning curve on how to turn comfortably on this board, you'll be carving in no time. You can also adjust the tension of the springs on the trucks, so that it would be easier for you to turn and carve. Just watch out for speed wobbles when going fast. Kaly.nyc uses a modified version of the Nano remote. The reverse button and the speed mode switch has been taken off for whatever reason, but if you're a seasoned e-boarder, this won't be an issue as you'll get used to the travel of the throttle fairly quickly, even if the speed mode is basically just on the fastest mode. You pair the remote to the board by turning on the remote first, then turning on the board on.
Unlike other e-boards, you need to prime or calibrate your remote every time you pair it.
So once the LED of the remote turns solid green, press full throttle and full braking at least 2 times. As a precaution, raise the back wheels while you're doing this, as you might push the throttle after the calibration period.
Another
is
great
done.
thing about this board is the build quality. Ernesto has taken time on how this board has been put together.
His battery packs has custom flexible design and has self-fuse implementation, which is housed in a custom battery enclosure made by Ernesto as well. I have ridden this board through damp roads, through puddles. I've ridden it in drizzling weather and had been performing like a champ. It's something that I won't do with the rest of my e-boards, as I have broken a couple of them due to water damage before.
So, who's this board for? Well, this board is definitely not for a novice rider, as this board has a lot of torque and it's plenty fast. If you put some time on a boosted board, Evolve, or other premium boards, just looking for the next rung up the ladder, this board can definitely scratch that e-board itch for you. Also, if you want to purchase a 2-in-1 kit e-board that has plenty of power, great range, is in an Evolve board, and has amazing build quality, this board is suitable for you.